Greetings, dear precious spirit soul that you are. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose to remember to focus on the heart and out through your mouth. And to get into that practice, because you know the body operates on oxygen. Therefore the mind is operating on oxygen, and it takes oxygen to think. That's why people get tired of thinking so much, because they're exhausted. They've depleted their energy, okay? So when you breathe into your heart, being conscious there, you're breathing yourself right into the now. And you can quickly, and the more you practice that, the better off. Is that, got to get back to my topic here. Are you susceptible to hypnotic suggestion? Are you susceptible to hypnotic suggestion? And there's a study, I forgot the name of it, I don't always remember all the names and all that kind of stuff. I grok it, I get what it is. That they're showing that there's a place on the right side of the brain, I guess must be left too, whatever, that is susceptible to commands or declarations or suggestion. And that suggestion could be that someone would say to you, "You never can get anything right." Then the person would then translate that to, "I can never get anything right." Therefore, the person is always trying to get it right, but they always know that they won't get it right. And that keeps them in that cycle of hope and hopelessness, or expectations that I'm finally going to be right, and that means I'll then be good enough. You want to look at what is the basic program. And in the reality around us, it's all about programs. This program, that program, this program, that program. We don't operate by programs at the level of the divine and who we are. We don't need programs. In a mechanical or repetitive reality, everything runs on a program. So programs are set also by suggestion. They cause mental programs and emotional programs, and therefore action and behavior programs that come from suggestions. And what I noticed when I had watched in a hypnotic situation, people who were willing to be hypnotized, like on a stage in the theater, and they would do the most ridiculous things, but they couldn't actually perceive us in the audience because they had given their power over to the hypnotist. And I'm not saying anything about it one way or another, but I'm just noticing that's what was going on. And I didn't choose to do that. And yet all of us have been put under some kind of hypnotic trance by all of the words and meanings and emotions packed with all of this. And starting from beginning as children in each incarnation through this repetitive recycling reincarnation program, so that you start again always as a baby and then helpless and needing to be taken care of, and then having people stronger and all of this, and then dependent on them, and then all of us, the fear of punishment and the desire for reward. And here we are, Pavlov's dog, salivating when it rings a bell, thinking it's going to be fed. So it's these patterns and these responses that all get set up. And these are hypnotic, would be called a hypnotic trance. And these statements and words and concepts and beliefs that we have accepted or agreed upon, not knowing we even had a choice not to. That's how it has worked. But now we do. And to be really conscious of those trance states. And those also become obstacles, because you want to go forth to do something, and then the trance is you can never get it right. Then you'll also slip up in all these other ways, because you have to be successful in fulfilling the assignment of that suggestion. And then it also even get loyal to the person who then programmed this, or we agreed to it but didn't know we agreed to it. So the point is that yes, we've been victims, and when we know how that works and that's what you want to know, how this functions. That's what I'm teaching this course called Mastery and Manifestation. And there's just 3 parts to it. So if you're interested in that, I'll be doing that up here at Shasta as a workshop. And I'm planning on having it available also in another form. I'm just looking to see that. It's a very basic, fundamental program, not a program, but a teaching, so that you can use that teaching to take back your powers of manifestation. And when you do that, then you're a conscious manifester, because you can't help but manifesting. And to know how this, and then you shift also into, like another course I'm teaching, I love it, because it's the mystic path. And then so each of the steps that you're taking as you take back yourself are important. And then after you master that level, you don't need the step again, because you already used it and you got to where you are. So be aware of those suggestions that you've been living with, and go to the root of it. And the root of it is usually you're not good enough. There's not enough. And then we decide we didn't get enough love, didn't get enough support, didn't get enough of this or that, and then it's always there to blame because I'm suffering and I don't have this and all that. And then the envy, the competition, then also all the focus on material things. That is a hypnotic trance. To be so focused on materialism that becomes everything, what the person's wearing, what their hair looks like, what their stuff looks like that they've accumulated, how much stuff, how big is this stuff, how all of this stuff is. And then those people want longevity and more, how to retain those stuff, because you are eternity. And when you know you are eternity and you know who you are, instead of believing the trances, the statements, the concepts, the beliefs, the programming, the cultural conditioning, religious, and all of these kinds of programs, you know how to center on your own self and your divine, that God within, or however, Mother, Father, God, however you love that, and build that relationship. Because what I have found in all my work, on the impersonal, the person stays in the mind, always trying to find a higher thought. The highest thought is really just, there is no thought higher than you at all. And when you realize that, instead of trying to just change your thoughts, you use whatever you are learning and applying or thinking to help you get to the place where you can absolutely trust yourself again. And when you do, in those ways, we really never make a mistake. And it's okay to make mistakes, but the best thing is to correct, because if you don't, you try to cover the mistake. So that's how we get, are you susceptible to hypnotic suggestions? And I used to be so susceptible to other people's opinions that even when I did my ministry in San Diego, I had and television ministry, I had to move away from everyone that I knew, because they'd always tell me, they didn't mean to, they weren't being, just this is the way people are. Oh, that's not possible. You can't do it. Who do you think you are? Where are you going to get the money? Blah, blah, blah. All of these reasons, all these trance statements, all these hypnotic suggestions that they had received, they were then passing on to me. And what you want to do is, as you center on your own self and build your strength, you let go of the trance state, and you are no longer susceptible to hypnotic suggestions. And as you're doing that, you truly get to then experience the power of your free will. And the free will is that choice. Who are you going to serve this day? Mammon means suggestion, matter, the temporary, or the absolute and eternal, the divine. You see?